So we're starting to see a lot of culinary trends rise to the surface. There were some pre-pandemic that actually started to rise. I think the pandemic actually slowed some of them down. One of the ones that my chefs and my friends are very excited about is Indian cuisine going into the United States. Right before the pandemic, there was a nice increase in that. So you're starting to see it across a bunch of menus, seeing in the grocery stores. With the pandemic hitting, that actually slightly went down. So we're starting to see it in the grocery stores still again, but we're not seeing as much in food service. So my prediction moving forward is we're going to start to see that increase a lot for a couple different reasons. One being the health aspect of things. Two being the pure amount of folks moving in from the Indian continent into the United States. That population is just growing and growing. The other thing is the availability of limited protein or a lot of vegetarian offerings inside that. So big flavors with a very wide range of textures, consistencies, and proteins that are being used. The easiest way for operators to hop onto a trend such as Indian is to do a couple different things. Is to research your base and your clientele. Make sure they are willing to accept that. If they're not 100% willing to accept it, there's a way to slowly add that onto your menu as sauces in particular are the first way to go about those kind of things. So you would include those inside your menu in very slow applications instead of throwing out a complete dish or entree or something that might have folks struggle with. Things like butter chicken, which in the retail world is in its ubiquity stage. Everyone kind of knows what butter chicken is. I feel inside the food service arena, that is 2 steps back actually. So that's in that stage that it's just you're starting to see that into restaurants. So the biggest thing I can say from the takeaway from companies like Data Essentials or other folks that are giving us information and data is certain cuisines are slightly behind trends when it comes to that. And Indian food and flavors are one of those things. When we normally think of that, it's just curry or butter chicken or naan or stuff like that. It's like that's a very small touch point of the overall flavor profile of Indian cuisine. But right now, if that's the easiest way to get usage and acceptance, it's a really nice, simple way to deliver big flavors in a very cost-effective way. There's tons of things that kind of help and will allow an operator to margin up when it kind of comes down to ethnic cuisines in particular and Indian in particular because of the high usage of greens and rice and vegetables. So they're getting the majority of their bulking agents from those cost-effective items. Beans and legumes in particular, grabbing some of their additional proteins, some of their cheeses is another great way to have proteins in there, but they are not counting on, like we kind of do in the United States, as that 6-ounce portion of chicken steak or giant double hamburger. They're actually taking small amounts of the most costly ingredients and using that over a wider range of product for the most part, or in a larger format. So each person's getting some beef or not beef, some chicken. They wouldn't be eating beef in India, or pork or something, and not a giant serving of that. It is complementing other flavors. It is not the center of the plate based on the way they have to grow food, harvest food, take care of themselves, cost of food, all those kind of things.